smiling, I keep doing my thing. Before my life is over and my moment fade away. I keep going, I keep smiling, I keep doing my things. Before my life is over and my chance just take her wings. Searching for a mission, life's no competition. It has no definition, no, no, no. The blind faces follow, my vibes just stay mellow. You can't take what I know, no, no, no. What I know, what I know.
Wukong completely out of my mind here, actually, and fantastic for them, but isn't going to be great in the early game. Same with this Nocturne. So they do opt for Owner's Nocturne here, even though they don't have the greatest mid-jungle synergy. It still works decently well with the Annie, but wonky draft here for T1.
Yeah, I'm a little bit frightened about it. I mean, there is some synergy, obviously, between the Curtain Call and the Paranoia, right? Like, you can see the targets to hit, and it's much more difficult to dodge
What's Zeus
when the
got?
lights are out.
Gnar, is it Kennen? Is he playing Yorick into Varus? Okay.
I mean, it could really work. There's, you know, the same school of thought for the Yorick into the Jace. Varus summon a spell that we saw. I think we saw some experimentation with some other things, but the Exhaust has seen the most success up there. As Delight is using Carrier's skin. That's kind of cool. Having a look at the jungle. We will pan over to him now.
He's going to get involved in the Raptor camp.
There we go. At least sees Owner and throws a flag in. And he's just going to help him with his Raptors.
Could really feel it, right? As Faker does have a bit of a health advantage here.
Yeah, a bit of boldness there from Zeka to just straight up die.
I guess he just thought Faker didn't have enough mana to do that, but he did.
Having a bit of a glow up. The good old solo first blood as he now drops a bear on the pigeon.
I mean, Zeka had the full push of the wave. He didn't need to stand in Tipper's range there either, but...
Let's have a look at it again, shall we?
So Faker's like, all right, I'm going to come up here. He's got his stun prepped, right? Because he can just self-shield. But he actually Qs and Ws. He has just enough mana for that, actually. 140 is working into Karma. You know, they're actually doing quite well. Whereas most teams would just not even allow the Karma. Zeus definitely not enjoying that. Which means that now Nocturne has skipped the toughest part and is ready to look for another pick here, potentially.
Yeah, there goes the bear. I mean, Zeka can always break the shield from the Nocturne and then just sweep him away. Speaking of sweeping, does find Faker here, who still doesn't have his flash. Kanavi making his way in, not going to be 0-0 anymore as he adds a 1 to the first column. Tibbers gets mad, but not going to be able to do anything. There is some wonkiness on T1's side, but if they're able to start the snowball rolling in mid-game, this composition can just win more very effectively.
Owner does not have the information, the critical information.
Well, in goes Kanavi. Delight? Where did we come from, my friend? He's going to get the flash out of Owner. Zeus is going to come and help collect this red buff as Pays shows some curtains to Guma. Now, Doran is able to flash in a very interesting way, gets into the Ghoulie wall, and is actually completely fine after Delight sort of bypasses him in his own magical journey. And, all right, Guma able to sidestep here.
That was very intense.
Yeah, there's a lot of scariness happening all over the place.
But, I mean, this turret is not safe. Doran.
Delight. Why is Delight always behind them? And always using very weird magical journeys as there's another Ghoulie wall to come on in as Owner is able to Paranoia in there. Kanavi comes down. They do take out the Bard, but Zeus might be able to grab this kill, and there it is with a Q. 1-for-1 on the top side of the map. And this game has gone weird. Faker behind the turret as well is able to flash out of the way of that last turret shot. And Carrier gets underneath his turret, but he may not be out of the woods just yet. Doran into another Ghoulie wall as Kanavi able to get the Q down. Flag comes in and able to tank up the last shot. Teleport now in from Faker. I just don't know. Oh, he's able to get there fast enough as Zeus Yeah, he is going to get stunned up. Those Merc Treads just not quite enough as the Pyroblast takes him down.
Fan there. As Delight, they've kind of figured out he likes to be on the T1 side, and they're going to punish him this time.
Yeah, taking the Magical Journey is not as much of a problem for Ona, who has a Spell Shield. Pays comes in. Delight is able to ult himself, but I think he wanted to only ult Ona, who will then get stunned but not care because the Bard is dead.
I don't...
Yeah.
Anyway, the Delight has been very aggressive. He's been hanging out with Kanavi and maybe apparently Pool Bay as well.
As Faker is going to get Cataclysmed, he has no flash, so he's very, very dead.
Game of this one. It's just constant action, but I do think the game state favors T1 pretty heavily, even with Faker's death there. As we'll see if Pays can survive here. He should be fine.
Bullet time, as not much of it is going to be soaked there by Pays. As Keria is taking Delight for a walk. Deadly Flourish comes on down. Magical Journey going to be taken by Keria before Delight.
Thanks for the flank.
That was very odd. And yeah, Keria actually just using the Bard against the Bard. As it turns out, even in a game when he's not playing Bard, he's the better Bard. That's kind of ridiculous as Gumayushi, fancy footwork here. And not going to die just yet as the Deadly Flourish comes on through. Now the Paranoia is going to be used on the top side of the map, and the Chains of Corruption will be the demise of Zeus. Gumayushi, I don't think he's long for the world, as that's Pays locking that one up with a 4th bullet.
Gauge guy, but he's really tuned it up, right? His Bard has looked a lot better in recent times. Now Bard is just completely meta. Well, this game reminds you of the older ones. He's playing very aggressively, right? He's playing incredibly offensively, which is what...
I don't know who's high level as far as Tibbers and the Maiden are concerned. Maybe level 10 versus level 10 is probably what it is. Now Keria taking some damage. Kanavi gets in there, but the Bard, once again, tries to ult himself and dies before it even gets off, as Ona will be able to grab a kill onto Guma. The Emperor's Divide from Zeker is pretty fantastic, but he goes down as well as Doran picks up a triple, and he's looking to make it a quadra here at 15 minutes into the game. Keria wants to slow down Kanavi, but Kanavi does not get slowed down by anyone.
It's like literally everything I was saying right before this. Like, Pays can impact the play from far away, much like a big decision-making error is Kanavi.
What?
I mean, I'm scared of him too, to be honest. I also just flashed right then.
Yeah, no, me too.
It's on cooldown for a long time.
Yep.
1,000 gold behind effectively here in this game, and Nocturne ult gonna come out. There's Guma.
Lights go off. Deadly Flourish will be avoided here as Ona not able to find Gumayushi, who does have to flash, or he just doesn't understand the concept. As in he goes once more, as if proving our point, as Faker flashes over the wall just beautifully.
Great flash. What a flash from Faker.
Is able to hold on to a little bit of an advantage here as well. But with Doran as strong as he is, it is a very scary moment as we do have a teleport coming on in. I'm not sure about that one, Faker, as he does get knocked up by Kanavi. It should be a trade, but the Tempered Fate this time is going to work out and will save his life.
That's exactly what I'm talking about when I say wait for opportunities. Faker just gives them a silver platter. Find himself leaving very quickly, and he is on his way out.
Yep, and Delight is just going to make his way over, finds the Cosmic Binding there as the mini Flag and Drag is going to try and lock down Ona, who flashes away. Doran standing his ground, though. The Tempered Fate holds him in position. The curtains were cold, but Pays not going to be able to find those last bullets. But man, Doran is so scary with this Dusk and Dawn.
Yeah, he does so much damage. By Maiden.
Takes 50 gold from the Maiden as well. Is a huge deal, especially when it's level 16. So Doran going to come in looking for Delight, but does immediately get knocked up. There's the Paranoia going down. Delight is very dead almost immediately as Ona gets on in there. The Cataclysm is going to lock him down, but they kill Guma before he can really do anything. Now Doran flashing out of the way. Zeka should be able to put him down, and then dash cannons towards Keria to try and lock that one up. Now Zeus versus Faker. Is Zeus finding some revenge?
Zeka?
And he will find the angle there. Zeka will be able to go golden, but Faker walking so incredibly quickly. It's a double for Pays as he looks to clean up, and the footwork isn't there for the Yorick. It's a triple for Pays in the end.
That's why he's casting spells on everybody to keep them up, and caught here a little bit.
Well, Keria might be dead, ladies and gentlemen. No flash available, and so he is going down. Kanavi, of course, is going to use that to go even further in, and Faker will be taken down by a meep slap out of Delight.
I mean,
it is going to be soul point over to T1.
It's his team in denying this Baron, but they're very late.
Yeah, let's see what more they can get. The Ghoulie Wall just to try and zone them away. as Zeus could be in a lot of trouble here. There's the bullet time, and down will go Ona. That should guarantee the Baron, as Kanavi's on top of it, and HLE will be able to secure this. Still, they sacrifice Zeus for it. Emperor's Divide just barely picks up Doran, and he's not going to be getting 3,501 assists.
And HLE turning the Baron, but we got to go back to live because it's one of those games.
Yep. Kanavi is Kanaviing one more time as Zeka almost dies to the Tibbers from Faker, but I think Faker knew that he was going to be dying there.
But they're just going to group and start sieging these turrets.
Delight just really likes pressing Magical Journey. And he does it again, and he's actually going to be fine. Ona gets the fear onto Kanavi in this mid lane, but that is a lot of damage onto Gumayushi. This gets comboed by Faker.
The siege is real. They need to be careful about overextending, though.
Yeah. Zeka able to get out of the way of the Chains of Corruption. Really nicely done there for an opportunity there. Running pretty fast as Tempered Fate is going to be thrown down for fun. The siege is on. They do manage to get the Crystalline Overgrowth, and there is more plates falling in this mid lane.
And this might be the final team fight.
Could be. Delight taking a little bit of a chunk there as the flash forward from Faker. They don't manage to kill Delight though, and Faker goes down very low. Bullet time onto just the Annie will secure it. And Kanavi still has GA and doesn't actually get it popped. Gets out of the way of the curtain call, and HLE were looking for even more. But I think just denying this soul
TP
could be a big deal. As never mind, Zeus has winning the game on his mind.
They're going to do both. They're going to get this dragon, but also get this inhibitor turret. He's only a level behind the York.
My goodness. Well, Paranoia comes down. Immediate flash out there from Guma. As Cataclysm comes on forward, Ona still had his flash up and available, and he may need to use it as he does get inspired. There is the Tempered Fate onto only Carrier. Well, Zeka needs to be over there as Pays might be able to find an angle here towards Zeka, but he does just fly away.
Doran TP.
Yeah, and this Baron is just gone, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing they can really do about that one. Still, Ona, without his ultimate yet available, Carrier just barely alive as well as the Maiden getting involved. Deadly Flourish, fantastic, onto Zeus, and he will just be sacrificed. The curtains are being called here as well as they're in the shooting gallery. HLE just staying in the fog of war as best they can, though, as Doran moving up behind them. And they are getting corralled. Maybe this Sun Disc will be enough to help them out. As Zeus, no teleport to join after this 45 seconds either, if they can buy that much time, which would be really difficult. Zeka looks for the angle as Carrier flashes out of the way. Ona will be able to get his Zhonya's as that was such a weird play. The Emperor's Divide onto the Varus to lock out so much of the damage, and Pays is dead as well. Down goes Ona and HLE. The 4 versus 5, they're looking to try and win it anyway, as Kanavi will be able to help lock down Carrier, and the Tempered Fate just to look really cool before securing the ace. Gumayushi was already onto this inhibitor turret, and man, what an incredible game. But in the end, HLE get their revenge and take down T1 in game 1.
A hard-fought win for HLE, and man, I don't know if Pace could have done more this game. His catch onto Zeka, the constant threatening, that was his first death of the game, and it will be his last as well. He's the final T1 member to die here. Their recent addition, but HLE